guys, this is what we're making today. This is the bag bee making box for July from Wonderground Fabrics. This is the Sue Sling by Keziah and Brittany. These are all the materials that came in the box. This lavender is a vinyl, and this geometric is a waterproof canvas. Very cute. You have an outside slip pocket that closes with the magnetic snap. You have an outside zipper pocket. You have double opening zippers, and then on the back you have a zipper pocket on the inside, and then the gusset. It actually holds a lot. It holds more than what I carry every day. Very, very cute. So go get the pattern. If there's any boxes left at Wonderground Fabric, go get a box and let's get started. Thanks for joining. I appreciate each one of you. Hi everyone, this is Barbie with Jeannie's Designs, and I'm going to do this month's July 2024 bag bee making club box, and it is the Sue Sling. So this will be only my third pattern make of this pattern. This is Keziah and Brittany's pattern. Mostly Keziah. I guess Brittany helped her. I don't know how they did it, but it's Saya Swag Sue Sling, named after Susan, her sister. I just love it. It's a great pattern. If you haven't gotten it yet, I highly recommend you get it. It's a fairly quick sew, and it's a good size medium bag. I love it. I love it. I have one that I've kept for myself. This one will be for sale. But the contents of the bee box was this waterproof canvas that I'm going to use for the lining, but I'm also going to use some for the outside. And then this denim lilac lavender vinyl. It's vinyl. Very nice. So I'm not going to go over each of the pieces right now. We'll go over them as we do the pattern. But it is a great pattern. I don't know what she calls it. Let's see. Advanced beginner. I would totally agree with that. It's a very cute pattern. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is my strap. And because this is that jacquard webbing, it frays terribly. So I did put fray check on each end. And then I'm going to cover it with a piece of the vinyl. And this is just a 1.5 inch piece. You could do a 1 inch. And that'll give me a little bit of room to trim it off if I want to. So I'm just making that equal on both sides. And I'm going to do it on both ends. Okay, and then we'll stitch that up once we get it connected here. So up and through our slide adjuster, and I'll trim those ends. They're too wide, and that's okay. Once I get this on. And I'm using, I think this is Tex 45 thread in a lilac. It's very pretty. I think it'll match perfectly. I'm doing a box. I know it's very scary for Barb. You almost have to do a box on this kind of thing. And I am not doing rivets because the rivets will just decrease the integrity of the webbing as well. So I'm not doing it. Now I'm going to cut off that excess, making sure I'm not cutting my webbing. Perfect. Perfect. So there you have that. Now, let's add one of our swivel clasps. This is the wrong side. I think I'll go ahead and trim this now. Up and through. Let me make sure I didn't get it twisted. Nope, I didn't. Okay. And then through our swivel clasp. And back down. This is just a regular slide adjuster, by the way, too. Okay, and then we'll add our swivel clasp. Let me see. Yep. And then I'll do the same thing by stitching that with a box. Perfect. The other thing you can't do with this jacquard webbing is you really can't burn it because it'll fray. So even though I have a few little threads here, I'm going to just barely touch those. Okay. Let me see if there's any here. And it'll leave a burn mark, so you do have to be a little careful. All right, there we go. That's our handle, all done. Crossbody strap. All right, next step. All right, so take your front flap piece and your A piece and measure down. It's on the pattern piece, actually, where the snap goes. And we're going to install the female portion of the snap. This is the front bottom. Now, even though this has Decaville light on it, I'm going to put one more piece on here because it's going to get a lot of use, actually. So, not necessary, but I like my snaps to be pretty dang secure and not come loose over time. And then I will also put a little piece of fleece on here just to cover it up. And then on the actual flap, measure down, choose which side you want to be the underside or the wrong side of the flap, and mark also there where you want the male portion of your snap to go. So I'm just going to mark all these. We're not going to install that one just yet. I'm just following her pattern, but I'm going to get it all ready. So centered, the distance down, she tells you in the pattern. These little X-Acto knives are very sharp. Very sharp and scary for me. Okay. So I'm going to set these little 3 pieces aside for now. And we're going to fold our flap right sides together and clip the sides together. And we're going to sew these together at the seam allowance in the pattern. And I have my stitch length at a 3 for the little webbing, but I'm changing it to a 4. Okay. Repeat that on the other side. And this front flap does have decaville, and so does my piece A. And all of my decaville is outside the seam allowance. Even though I have an industrial, I think it just looks better. All right, let's trim these corners. You can trim the whole thing if you want to. And then we'll turn it right side out. This denim, lilac, purple, lavender vinyl is pretty thick. So keep that in mind. Choose your fabrics wisely. This is pretty thick. So Jess Okla Roots has a video on this for this month as well, just FYI. She always does a very nice job too. You want these corners to be very nice because this is a very visible piece on the bag. Just going to use my little corner tool. Oh, that looks pretty good. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to top stitch around the sides and the bottom. sews beautifully, really. All right, now we're going to install our snap. And let me see if I can find out what I did with it. There it is, right there. Okay. My extra little piece, this happens to be Lux Fuse that I grabbed. Honestly, I'm gonna give you tips as I go. You could easily, if you're using a zipper fit, you could easily put this on before you sewed it. So you don't have to struggle with putting it on inside. Totally up to you. Grab my little tool here. Goodness gracious. So I'm going to make a note in the pattern to do this before I sewed it shut, because these are very strong magnets and they're like almost impossible to get. The prongs down, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't do that, it won't work. All right, let me get it. All right, so take piece A, which is this piece, and I have Decaville on it, and your flap. Lay it across, center it across that top right edge with your magnetic snap or whatever you're using, right side up, with the snap up, and then just baste that in place. And then take your exterior slip pocket backing C, and we're going to lay that, let me mark my centers, with our flap sandwiched in between. Just like this. And sew that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Let me see what that is. Backing right side down on top. Okay. So this is what you should have right now. Next step. All right, so now we're going to top stitch just under on that lining piece. And then in the pattern, she tells you to mark on your flap. You can hardly see mine. Up from that seam. Yeah. And we're going to stitch just on the flap. Don't go outside your flap. So I'll show you what it looks like. So we top stitch under here and the lining piece, and then we top stitch just between the sides of the flap. Now take piece, I think it's piece D. Let me just measure, yeah. Piece D, the one there we put the magnetic snap and then the lining piece. We're gonna stitch across the top at the seam allowance in the pattern. One of these has deck of delight, the other one does not. They're both waterproof canvas, so they'll be fine. It's very pretty. Okay, and then we're going to flip that over and we're going to top stitch just on the top. 1/8 of an inch. Now we're going to take this piece and lay it here on top of our flap piece that we just created. The thing you just want to make sure is that you're getting it on there nice and even. And you can kind of go by your seam here. This is up too far. There we go. I think she tells you, yeah. So just make sure it's nice and even with that seam that you created. You're creating your front slip pocket, and we're going to base that in place. All right, so grab your zipper. She tells you the exact length, and add your zipper tabs after you put your zipper pull on to each end. And we're going to stitch that together at the seam allowance in the pattern. Pull my other end up. And we'll turn those over and top stitch. On both ends. All right, so if they're not even, you can trim them. You probably don't need to because this part's going to be hidden, but the obsession in me says trim them, so I'm trimming them. All right, so there you have your zipper, okay? The other pieces you're going to need for this section are piece K, which is the exterior zipper pocket lining piece. You're going to need piece E, and you're going to need piece F, okay? I'm trying to keep those turned over. All right, so take your exterior pocket bottom, which is piece F that has Decaville on it, and add your zipper. Just baste it in place. And then take your lining piece, which is K, and we're gonna add that right sides together with our zipper and sew that at the full seam allowance. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking for my zipper. Pull. Okay, then we're going to fold those up. And we're going to top stitch. I'm just making sure I got everything nice and even. Top stitch across your zipper and your F piece. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. Then we're going to pull our pocket up just like this. And we're going to add our piece E, exterior back top. And I got to center that on both sides. And we're going to lay that right side on our zipper, centered. You could do these one at a time if you want to. I'm just choosing to do them at the same time. And sew that together at the full seam allowance. Okay, and then we're going to fold that up and top stitch across the top. Let me just make sure. Hold on. All right, now we're going to top stitch across this top, and I'm also going to add this little handcrafted tag that came with the bee box. Now we're going to baste around so our pocket stays. All right, so the next step is the handle. And we're going to do this like any strap, just like a strap. It's a 4-inch piece. We're dividing down the middle, added double-sided tape to each side, leaving just about a 1/16 inch in between so it doesn't bunch up on itself when we fold it over. All right, so from each short end, measure up what she tells you to in the pattern, and then we're going to sew 1/8 of an inch, creating a box there. So that is created a little box there where the handle is, because we won't be sewing that portion on, so that's why we're doing that. You can't hardly even see it, but there's a box from here all the way around 1/8 of an inch. It's a beautiful thing. Next step. All right, so on your handle, just add your D-rings so we don't forget them, and she even tells you to do that in the pattern. Very helpful little tip. Now grab your back zipper panel and your front zipper panel. On the wider portion, attach your zipper. I haven't put my pulls on. You certainly can. I'm going to put them on when I get it ready. And I'm just going to baste this in place for now. You could also use tape here. And then I'm going to add the lining right sides together with that. And sew the full seam allowance. And then just like any zipper panel, we're going to fold those wrong sides together, top stitch next to the zipper, and then baste the other sides, all 3 sides closed. Okay, let's do it. Move it this way. then we're basting the 3 raw edges together. Don't go over your zipper yet until we get our zipper pulls on, because we're going to add 2. Oh, goodness. We're going to add 2 zipper pulls. Okay. And take your smaller piece and just repeat that. All right, so on this completed panel, mark a line from this raw edge on your wider piece, what she tells you to in the pattern. So up and mark a line all the way down. On your handle, with your make sure your D-rings are on, put two 1-inch pieces on each end. You're not putting tape here on this side because that's where the D-ring is going to end up. Now, if you're on a domestic machine, you may want to have flipped this up, the lining, so that you're not sewing through the lining. I'm okay with it because I'm using my Cellrite. But if you are worried about all the thickness, then don't baste your lining back zipper pocket together. Now, we're going to sew up on the 1/8 inch, up and around just this box to our first line. So up, over, and down on both sides. Just make sure it's very even. And over. And down. And we're going to repeat that on this side. Just trying to make sure I see my lines. Okay, now pull your D-rings down in between that and where we have this other piece of double-side tape. We're going to fold that down on our line and stitch here, 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 and here. Make another box. So your D-ring is between these two. Okay, and I'm going to stitch on my line. Trying to see my other line. Oh boy. Perfect. Okay, and let's repeat that over here. I can see this one a little better. Okay, perfect. My thread matches so well, you can't even see it. Love it. Okay, if you have any little thread hairs, then just burn those. So you see my two boxes here and here, here and here. It's going to be on the inside, won't be able to see it. But now we have a completed handle. It's perfect. I love it. Right, next. So the next step is to add your gusset, your bottom gusset. So we're going to put our linings right sides together. And our exteriors right sides together. And I just do them at the same time. You could certainly base them if you wanted to. Okay, and the seam allowance. Let me see. We're getting so close. Yep, seam allowance is the normal seam allowance. Okay, whoops. Just looking for any hardware. Now, if your gusset, your bottom gusset, isn't quite the same size, like right there, it's hanging out a little bit, don't worry about that. We'll trim that just a little. Now, pull those two bottom gussets right sides together, and we're gonna top stitch on that. And then we're going to pull the exterior right up to this exterior and clip that together. And then pull our linings right sides together. Again, if you feel more comfortable basting those one at a time, then I definitely would do that. same seam allowance. Make sure your D-ring's out of the way. And then turn that and top stitch. I am going to trim this zipper. And this one. Okay. Okay, and top stitch that side. I will be finishing this on Thor, probably. I honestly don't know what I did the last time. Now, let's also baste the bottom gusset wrong sides together. All right, so I am gonna put a center on my zipper. And I'm just gonna clip these together so I can get a center on my zipper and on my bottom gusset. Okay. And then do the same on your bottom. I really need to clean my scissors. All right, next step. All right, so on your lining piece, or your lining piece is J. Just keep in mind, these are not perfect squares. The top is a little bit narrower than the bottom. So to help me, I just put a T on the lining piece, T for top, so I know which is which. But it's not a perfect square. It's not completely even. So now we are gonna add our zipper pocket, and I put my lining piece there, and I'm just centering it, eyeballing it really. I'm using my little Sew Tight magnet. Right sides together. Sewing our zipper box. And I'll do this on fast forward. It's like every other zipper. All right, so I ironed that, and now we're just going to add our zipper. I'll finish this on fast forward. All right, so let's sew this zipper up. Zipper pocket. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to trim this top portion just a little so that it stays out of my binding. There we go. Cute. Next, all right, so for my back, I'm going to attach it to the back zipper pocket. So this is the back of my outside, and this is my lining back. So I'm going to put those right sides together and clip those all the way around. I'm going to do the same for my front with my lining that has nothing on it. So I will do those on fast forward and baste those together. All right, so turn your gusset wrong side out. Take your front with the flap. Your skinny part of your zipper panel goes on the front. So we're going to put those right sides together and clip those at our centers. And I'll do this on fast forward. It's like watching paint dry to watch somebody clip something. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the binding on this one and see how it goes. It'll be fine. I haven't used waterproof canvas in a long time for binding. I've been using the fold over elastics, so. It's not very, it doesn't fray hardly at all, so I think it'll be fine, actually. This is just a 1-inch piece. I had to put sew 2 together. So there's a seam, you won't even be able to tell. All right, so attach your binding and sew your binding on. So I'm just going to fold that over to attach when I'm ready. Okay, let's put it on. All right, that came out really good. All right, so now I'm gonna put the back on same way. And oh my gosh, did I not center this piece? I did the top, not the bottom. Okay. Same thing. I'll clip it all the way around. I'll sew it all the way around, and then I'll bind it. All right, let's turn it right side out. This will probably be a little bit of a challenge, so I'll do it on fast forward. We'll see. Maybe not. Okay, not nearly as bad as I thought. I really thought it was going to be over, but not bad at all. Let's see how it closes. Oh my. It is so cute. I have some little threads I need to clean up. This needs to be punched out just a little. So, definitely not a beginner with these materials in particular. Although you could, if you just take your time, just like any bag, if you take your time, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Even advanced beginners or advanced intermediate, if you take your time, you can do it. The Sue Sling. This is the bag making bee box for July. I don't have any puckers. Well, I have one over here, just a tiny one right here. I'm okay with that. So you have an outside zipper, good size zipper pocket. Although my iPhone Pro Max won't fit in there, just FYI. I think if I do another Sue, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna decrease these tabs. In fact, one of them, I think I may not even use tabs. I may just sew straight across. That way, iPhone Pro 14 Pro Max would fit in there. And then you have your slip pocket. Now your phone will fit in this one. And then on the inside, you have a full zipper pocket back there and tons of room. And it really opens very wide so you can get to things. Now it is a bound bag. It's not a hard bound bag. I used the waterproof canvas that came in the kit this time. It was easy. And there's your strap. Isn't that cute? It is so cute. I really do like the materials. This lavender denim from Wonderground. I'm gonna go see what she has in other colors because it's really cute. So I know the Sue Sling's been out for a while, the pattern, but if you haven't tried it yet, I encourage you to. It's a very useful, the shape is very popular today. And it's got 3 good sized pockets. How she does the side D-rings is really cute too. Thank you, Gabby and Jess from Oakland Roots for a great box this month. I already had the pattern, but that's okay. I really appreciate you guys. You do a great job. So, if she has any, go to Wonderground Fabrics and click on the bag bee making box, see if she has any extra. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you click like, subscribe, and comment. Bye-bye.